Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It is 11:30, so we'd like to begin. Welcome to Parents as Partners virtual conference. My name is Joshua Solak. I'm the Assistive Technology Teacher for Learning Center 1. So I service the northwest part of the city, and I'll be presenting our workshop today. In chat, we have two lovely moderators.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Ramson. I've got the same role as Josh, but I'm in the east part of the city, so I service Learning Center 3.
Hi, everybody. I'm Diana Cho. Again, the same assistive technology teacher. I'm in Learning Center 2, which is North York area.
Awesome. Our workshop today will be an introduction to Read and Write for Google Chrome. It's how you can access all learning opportunities at home. We have our slide deck in the chat, and so you can feel free to click on it and open it up. We did present this in a Google Slides, so you'll be able to access it at any time. So our agenda for today. We welcome you. We'd like to do some introductions and then take a look at our Read and Write Chrome extension. We will do a quick demonstration of the tools, and we'll be showcasing some helpful resources that we've curated. We will also be answering any questions you might have. So today we'll be taking a look at Read and Write. So Read and Write is a piece of assistive technology that can be tailored to meet the needs of students and enable them to independently read, write, and research across a variety of different platforms. And assistive technology is essential for some students, but it's beneficial for everyone to have access to. This is our toolbar for Read and Write, and we'll be taking a look at it in a few moments. This tool is available both in English and French. So if your students are in English classes or if they're in French, they'll be able to access these supports. And these supports can be accessed at school as well as at home. So the first step will be syncing your Chrome account. So what you'll need to do is ensure that you've opened up Google Chrome. Here you can see I have my Chrome icon open. If you are in Safari or in Microsoft Edge, you might not have the full access to all of these features. So what we have is a very helpful how-to guide for syncing your TDSB Chrome account. And if your children are accessing on a Chromebook and they've signed in using their TDSB login, they'll be all set, ready to go. These steps will be for accessing this extension if you're on a Windows laptop. So step one will be to open up Google Chrome. Here we can see I have my Chrome window open. And now at the top corner of your screen, you might see an initial or a little silhouette of a person. And this helpful how-to guide here outlines all of the steps with the visuals to accompany. So here we can see at the very top, I see my first initial, J. If I click on it, I can see my TDSB email. Now for students, it will be their first name dot last name at student.tdsb.on.ca. So when they click on that, if they see a little blue turn on sync icon, they can click on that button. So they can click on the turn on sync. My sync is already on, but if you see this blue button, you can click on it here. And then you'll be prompted to enter your email. So your children will enter their first name dot last name at student.tdsb.on.ca. So I see there's a question about having both kids logged in on a Chromebook. So one will be able to log in at a time, but the Chromebook, what you can do is you can sign out and then the other child can sign in. So you can alternate. So once you've entered that email, and I'll put the format for it in the chat. So it will be their first name dot last name at student.tdsb.on.ca. Once you've entered that, a little login window will open up. And this is for academic workspace. This is how students log in to Brightspace or Google Classroom. And what they'll need here is their student number and their password. And if they're unsure of this, you can always ask their classroom teacher. Their classroom teacher should have access to all of this. And so you'll enter their student number and their password and click on the login button. A little window will pop up with that TDSB email for them. And so just ensure that everything is correct, and you can click continue. From there, another little window will pop up. And I know this seems like a little bit of a process, but once you've done this once, you are all set, ready to go. This little window will pop up asking if you'd like to link data. And what that is it's not linking personal emails and TDSB email accounts, but rather it will allow for accessing of all of the settings and features in our Chrome environment. So here we can click on that link data button, and now students will be able to access all of their apps, all of their bookmarks, any extensions and other settings that support their learning. And then we'll just see turn on sync, and we can click yes, I'm in, and we'll be all set, ready to go. Now what we should see is a little purple puzzle piece appear for us. And so if you see any exclamation points, what that will show is just that a new extension has been added. And this read and write tool has been added for everyone in the board. It's been added to every student's account, so every student will be able to access these tools. And so this is a great syncing document that's available here on slide 6. It will walk through all of the steps. And we also have the steps available for on a Chromebook. I will briefly go over that. So this syncing guide will explain that you need to connect to your home Wi-Fi and select a profile. You can click add a person and then sign into the Chromebook. And just as before, we'll need that academic workspace login, which will be their student number and their password. Then once we click login, we'll be all set. And then once you've logged in, your TDSB homepage should open up and you'll be all set. At the bottom, you can always remove a profile if needed. So once we've synced and once we've added our account, now we'll be able to dive into the features of Read and Write. I'll just come back to my full screen presentation so it's a little bit easier to see. So once we've synced, we'll see our extensions along the top, and we can see that purple puzzle piece. So let's dive into our toolbar. In the chat, there'll be a Google Doc that's posted. So I'm going to click on this link on slide 9 for my article, and it's going to prompt me to open up a Google Doc. Now, when I open that Google Doc, it will ask me to make a copy. This way, everyone will have their own copy of these tools. And so I see that Ashley has just posted it in the chat for us. We can click on that Make a Copy button, and it's now going to create a copy for us. And so now everyone will have their own document where they can try the different tools, typing, and everything associated. So this is a Google Doc. Google Docs are one of our Google apps for education that students use to complete their work and share their ideas. It's very similar to Microsoft Word, but it exists in a web space. So students can access it from any device. They can access at home, at the public library, or at school. Another upside is that this tool in our Google Docs will automatically save for students. So if students are working on something and their laptop or Chromebook, the battery dies, it automatically backs up all of their work as long as they're connected to Wi-Fi. So let's open up our Read&Write extension. Yours might open up right away, as you'll notice mine just did, but to open it up, we can look for that purple puzzle piece at the top right corner of the screen. Are we able to see that at the top corner of our screen? You can let me know in the chat. And what we can do is if we see it, we can click on the purple puzzle piece, and this will open up a toolbar for us. Now I can access all of my tools of Read&Write. Now you might find that your purple puzzle piece is not showing up here. Now what can sometimes happen is if you look up at the corner, I can't see that purple puzzle piece. There is a gray puzzle piece that allows you to select it and look at all of your other extensions. Here I see my Read&Write for Google Chrome, and it has not been pinned to my toolbar. If I click on this pin button, now we'll be all set, ready to go. And so now I've clicked on it, and my toolbar will open right up for me. Here we are. If you see this, where it's just a little purple puzzle piece on the top of your screen, the toolbar is just minimized. So you can feel free to click on it to open it up. And now I will have access to all of the tools available. So let's take a look at our play, pause, and stop tools. These tools will allow us to have information read off of a page. So what our students are able to do is they are able to select text and click on the play button.
The vault at the top of the world.
And so this tool will read text out loud, highlighting each individual word as it's enunciated. And so this tool, we're able to select and click on the play button.
The vault at the top.
We can pause the reading at any time, and you'll notice it pauses right where you were in your document. We can also click stop to bring back all of our other tools. This will allow us to come back and take a look at our text. So I will show this tool one more time. We're able to select the text and click on that play button.
The vault at the top of the world.
Now you might find that it reads a little bit too fast for students. What we're able to do is adjust all of the settings of this tool. We are able to adjust that through the far right side of our toolbar. We have 3 dots here, and we can select our options. We can click on options, and now we can adjust under our speech tab. So you're able to select a variety of different voices. We recommend US English AVA as it's the most clear for students. Now, the speed is another setting that we recommend that you adjust. You can adjust the speed anywhere between 25 and 40. We find those are optimal for most students. If you go too slow, it can struggle with pronunciation. Going a little bit too fast can make it difficult to follow along. I'm going to put my text at 30. And another setting that we recommend is that you remove continuous reading. You can uncheck the continuous box, and that will allow you to only have the program read what you select. We can click OK, and that will save our settings. So to access our Read and Write toolbar, there should be a purple puzzle piece at the top corner of your screen. If you've signed in to Google Chrome and you have Google Chrome open and you've signed in and synced with your student's account, your child's account. So clicking at the top, I can see it's my TDSB email. For students, it will be their first name dot last name at student.tdsb.on.ca. And then that will allow you to click on the puzzle piece to open up the toolbar. So I will show one more time how you can select text and you can click on the play button.
The vault at the top of the world.
And so you'll notice it's reading it a little bit slower for me. So my students can now have that read. Again, to adjust our settings, we can click on those three dots and select our options. This will allow us to adjust the speed under our speech tab, as well as uncheck our continuous reading. This way, our students can listen to the text at a speed that's appropriate for them, as well as unchecking that continuous reading means that the program won't read on and continue reading. We can click OK, and now we'll be all set, ready to go. So now what we're able to do is listen to that full paragraph. I'm going to select the entire paragraph and click on the play button.
On an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole, a steel vault juts out from the side of a mountain. This building houses all of the world's seeds to prevent extinction. This seed vault allows all the countries of the world to protect their seeds. It acts like a bank and allows nations to deposit their own collection of seeds.
Perfect. So we're able to listen to the text, and our students can listen to it once, can listen to it twice, can listen to it as many times as they need. They can also select individual words. If they're unsure of one word, they can select it and click on the play button.
Extinction. This seed vault allows.
And that way, it will allow them to hear the words read out loud. So the next tool that we'll be taking a look at will be some of our digital dictionaries. So with our dictionary tool, we're able to select at the top of our toolbar. And if we hover over any of our tools, we can see that it will provide us the title of the tool. We have our dictionary and our picture dictionary. So now what we'll be able to do is select a word that we might not be sure of. I'm going to select the word steel. And I can click on my dictionary tool. So now I have a great visual or a great definition that's provided for me. These little triangles here are play buttons. And so what that will allow is for you to click on the play
Steel.
And have the word read out loud. As well, you're able to click on the play button to have the definitions read out loud.
Noun. A hard, strong metal made from iron, carbon and other elements, He made furniture from steel.
And so now we can have that read out loud for us. And it provides us a number of different definitions with different contexts. And we can listen to 1, 2, or all of them if we'd like.
Noun. Knife sharpener consisting of a ridged steel rod.
And so we can select that. Now, for some students, having a visual would also be helpful to support their learning. So with our dictionary tool open, and again, I opened it from my toolbar. It's the tool that looks like a little book. What I was able to do is click on the dictionary tool to open it up, as well as I can open up a picture dictionary, and that's one tool to the right. This will allow me to click on my picture dictionary, and now I can have a visual that represents the word. So this can help students to make sense of new words and make connections. So I will show one more time how we can access these tools. They can also be dragged, moved around on the page to best suit your child's learning. So within our web page, what we're able to do is select a word, and we can then click on our dictionary tool. So it looks like a little book. And now I have my word as well as my definitions. So what I can do is click on the little play button, and it will read my definition for me.
Mountain. Noun. A very high hill. We climbed to the top of the mountain.
Oh, great. That's what a mountain is. So this can help with new words and understanding their meaning. We can also open the picture dictionary, and that looks like a little mountain with a sun over top in a picture frame. If I click on this, it will now open up, and now I have my mountain visual. So these visuals can be great to support students' learning, and it's available when we select different words. We can see the different visuals presented for us. And remember, if you have any questions about these tools, you can feel free to ask them in the chat. I'm going to close my dictionary tool now. And what I'll be able to do now is access another tool. The tool that we're going to look at now helps with spotlighting information on a page, and it helps to reduce the amount of information students see and can allow them to access smaller chunks that are more manageable. The tool that we're going to take a look at is called our screen mask. And so what I'm able to do is look for my screen mask on my toolbar. And if I hover over any of the tools, it will give me their title. Here's screen mask. It looks like a computer screen. And so what I'm able to do is click on that screen mask tool. And now my screen has been lightly grayed, and there's a reading bar that will follow as I scroll up and down on the page. So this can help with students if they're reading a long passage and they want to focus on paragraph by paragraph. What this will allow is for students to follow up and down on the page. They can adjust the settings by clicking on that little gear. And this opens up the options again. This time, we'll make sure that we're on our screen mask tool, and we can adjust our settings accordingly. We can adjust our background opacity, which is how dark that background is, and if it blocks it out. So I've made it 100. What that will do now is that will mean all of the text has been blacked out. So now I can only see this, and it's removed all of those other visual distractions. If I'd like to, I can then come back to the settings through this little gear, and I can adjust. So I'm going to make my reading light background opacity 0. My reading light opacity, I'm going to make to 100. And so what this does is it inverts the tool. And so now this will act as if a student is reading with a ruler. So it can ensure they stay on the same line and they're able to read through. And if we ever want to turn off the tool, we can click on that little screen mask icon again, and that will turn off the tool. Now, what we're able to do is to turn it back on. I will click on my screen mask tool, and now it's open. To adjust the settings, there's a little gear. This will allow us to open up our options, and we can adjust the background opacity, making our background darker or lighter. We can also adjust that reading light opacity, so we can make that darker. And we can also adjust that reading light height. We can make it more narrow, or we can open it up. We can adjust accordingly. So if you want, you can set it where it only is one line wide, so students can focus on one line at a time, or you can open it up to make it larger, paragraph by paragraph. So I'm going to come back to those settings and make my reading light higher. You can also adjust the background color and the reading light color, although we find sometimes the other colors can be a little bit distracting. And as we click OK and save these settings, because we've synced our account, now those settings will follow us on whatever device we sign into and sync to. So if I've tailored this tool to meet my needs, if I'm signing in on a device at school, I'll be able to support my learning with it. So what we'll be able to do now is take a look at some of the other tools that we have that support students with expressing their ideas. So the first tool we will take a look at will allow students in one of our Google documents to select some text, and it will allow them to leave a comment and leave a voice recording directly in this document. What we can do is select whatever we'd like to leave a comment about. So we can select it, and we can click on that voice note. Voice note will allow us to make that sound recording. So select some text to ensure that you can give some context, and then we can click on voice note. This will open up a little microphone. If it's your first time using this tool, what you'll need to do is click to allow the microphone. This will allow you to talk into the computer. Now, if the computer that you're on does not have a microphone built in, you can always use a pair of headphones with a built-in microphone, or even earbuds with a little microphone in line. This will allow for all of our recording or ideas. So my question here is, where is the steel vault located? What I'm able to do is, with my voice note open, I can click on that microphone. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole. I will click stop, and then I can click insert. And so you will see a little rainbow line along the bottom of the screen. And that shows that it's inputting all of this information. And so now I see a comment has appeared right on my screen. And it first will appear as a link, but then we can click on the little play button. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole. So now I can listen to all of my ideas right in my Google document. So this can be a great tool to support learning, as students can share all of their ideas and talk them in. You can leave as many voice notes as you'd like within a document, and each voice note can record up to 1 minute of information. If I'd like to, I can remove my voice note by clicking on that check mark. And so now I'm back to my original document. What I can do is I'll show it one more time. So I can select whatever I'd like to leave a comment about, and I can then come up to the top and look for my voice note. I can click on it, and this little window will open. If it's your first time using the tool, it will ask if it can access your microphone. And what I can do is I can click on the microphone button and start recording. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole. I can click stop, and then I can click insert. And so now I have my voice note that's been added right to my document, and it appears as a little play button right on the side. So I can click on it and listen to all my ideas. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole. Perfect. I'm able to share all of my thoughts. And so to resolve it, I can click on the little check mark. And so now I'm back to my document. Within our Google Docs, we have the option to share and collaborate. So a document could be shared with your child's teacher, and so both of them are able to open it up and see all of the comments that have been made. They can see all of those voice notes, and they can see all of the work that's been completed. So the next tool we'll take a look at will allow us to also use our voice, but it's going to allow us to talk in our ideas and convert that into text on a page. This tool is called Talk and Type. It's also known as speech to text. So what I can do is I can click on this tool. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole, period. And so you'll see, as I clicked on the tool, it turned red right here, and it started recording all of my ideas. I lifted up my hand so you could see that I wasn't typing. And so what we're able to do is talk in all of our ideas and even use punctuation. You'll notice I said period at the end of the sentence, and that put in a period for me. What I'll do is I'll show this tool one more time. So I will remove my answer, and I will click on my Talk and Type. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole, period. So what this will allow is your child to share all of their ideas, talking them in, and then having that speech converted into text on a page. This tool, we can also adjust our language. So it works in a variety of different languages. So if we like, we can also switch it over into French. So we can switch this into French and then talk in our ideas in French, and it will turn all of our speech into text on the page. Now, whenever your children are using this tool, we recommend that after they've put in their answer, they can select it and click on that play button to proofread it back for themselves.
The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole.
Perfect. Sometimes this might not be accurate. It might make a mistake and it might mishear one of the words that is being said. By using the play, pause, and stop tools, it will allow for students to proofread their own work and make sure everything makes sense. I can close this tool by clicking on that little X. What I'll do is I'll show it one more time. So I'm going to remove my answer and I will look for my talk and type tool. And so when I click on it, it's going to right away start recording all of my ideas into my document. The steel vault is located on an island about 950 kilometers from the North Pole, period. I can click on the microphone to then turn the tool off. And so this is a great way that students can start recording their ideas and getting them all listed into a Google document. And so what I will do is I'll showcase another tool. This tool is now for students that are writing and sounding out all of their ideas. What it's going to allow is it's going to allow students to click on this little crystal ball, which is our prediction tool. As students are trying to sound out their ideas, what they're able to do is turn on prediction and start typing. So as they write a letter, it's going to present all of these different options for what the computer thinks they might be trying to spell. And if they hover over it, it will give them the pronunciation.
There.
And so what a student can do is when they see the word that they like, they can continue typing it in. What they can click on it as well, and that will put it into the document. But we recommend that students type it in so that way they can continue to be exposed to the word and will begin learning how to spell it out. So as I type steel, S-T-E-E, I'm not sure.
Stench.
Nope.
Steering.
Nope.
Steps. Stereotype.
That's not the word I'm looking for.
Stem. Steel.
Oh, there's the word. So if a student is unsure, they can always hover over the word and listen to it to see if it makes sense. And so I see it's right there, number 9, steel. I'm going to finish typing it in. And so what this will allow is for your child to sound out words that they might be unsure of, allowing them to expand their written vocabulary. So again, to open up this tool, I can click on that little crystal ball, my prediction. I can open it up, and now I can type in all of my ideas. So I can start sounding out vault, v, all, t, vault. So even if I misspell a word here, I've missed the U in vault.
Valet.
No.
Vault.
Oh, that's the word I wanted. Now they can click on that word and use this as a means to spell check. And so when they click on the word, it will input it right into the document. So this is a great tool that can support students and allowing them to sound out all of their thoughts and ideas and input each of those words. If they don't need word prediction, they can turn it off. And depending on where your student is at with their writing, they can adjust the prediction again through our options. So selecting these 3 dots, going into our options. And under prediction, they have some options to change. we can list 5 results, we can list 3 results. So depending on how comfortable your child is sounding out words, what they're able to do is have more options or less. They can also adjust the text size if they want it to be a little bit bigger. And so now if I click OK, when I turn on my prediction, you can see that the words suggested are much larger and more prominent. I can click on the prediction to turn it back off. And so these tools can be used here, or if your child is working in Brightspace and they have a text box, they can also open up this prediction. So it can really support students across a variety of different platforms. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back to my slide deck. And so all of the tools that we've taken a look at today, we've included some helpful how-tos. So some helpful how-to guides that show a student need that the tool supports and some possible strategies that can support students' learning. We've also included a visual here of how we can access these tools. Now, in the chat, could you let me know, is anyone supporting a child at work that is in a French language classroom? Because this toolbar can be switched over to completely work in French. So excellent. So what I'll do is I will switch that over. If I come to my options on the far side, there's those 3 dots. I can select it and click on the gear for options. Here, what I will do for my first step is I'll change my voice to French Canadian Emily. Now when it reads, it will read in French. What I can also do is go to my language setting, and I can adjust my language to French as well as my functionalities or features to French. Now you can see it's already switched my tool over into French, and I can click OK. Now all of my tools will appear in French. And so now I can select French text and have that read out loud. I'm also able to open up my prediction. And as I do that, let me just make sure I saved all my settings. And so I'm going to make sure I'm in French. Sometimes what will happen is if you have multiple windows open, I did just change the settings in my Google Slides, but here in my Google Docs, I want to make sure I have my French setting. Now, when I click OK, I can see that my tools are in French. And as I open it up, it will give me a variety of words predicted in French for me. So this tool can support both English and French learners. So I'm going to come back to that slide deck. And so here we can see we've got some great resources with visuals to support all of the aspects that we've looked at today. I'm going to come down to our second last slide, our resources. So here we have a Google site that will allow you to access, and I see that Diana has also put that into the chat. We also have accessing Read and Write at Home, which is a site that can support. And this will show how you can access Read and Write on all of these different platforms. Lastly, if you are having any difficulties, what we've done is we've created an ability to access us through our office hours. So here I will open up our TDSB homepage. Perfect. So our office hours allows you to connect with myself, Ashley, Diana, or one of our colleagues through a Google form. So what you can do is you can open up this Google form, and what it will allow you to do is enter some information. So I will enter my email, and it's whatever email is best to contact you at. And then you can select I'm a parent or caregiver of a student. We can then click Next, and we'll just try to gather a little bit of information. So we'd like to know what school your child attends, your child's teacher name, and the teacher's email if you know it. This way we can connect with the teacher and provide supports to them as well. We also ask that you let us know where your question lies. There's a variety of different tools that we support, all available here, our Read and Write, and so on. We also ask for a little description of the issue that you might be having. Maybe you're not able to open up Read and Write, or you're having difficulty having it read text, or whatever it might be. It's great if we can have a little bit of insight as to how we can best support you. From there, we also would like to know what kind of device that you're accessing. Are you on a Windows PC? Are you on an iPad? Are you on a personal device? This will give us a little bit of information. From there, so I'll quickly fill this out. Support with Read and Write. I'm going to complete all of this, so that way I'm able to show you the next step. Perfect. And I can click Next. And so then we ask that you provide us 3 different times that you're available. From there, we'll be able to reach out to you and connect during hopefully one of those times. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. If you have any further questions, you can direct them to the principal at your child's school regarding assistive technology. Now, were there any questions in here about our session today? If you have a question, you can feel free to turn on your microphone, or you can ask it directly in the chat. We thank you for taking the time to attend our session today. We will be staying on for a little bit if anyone has any questions. Well, thank you, Samira. It's great to see. I'm glad your son's excited. Thank you, everyone. So we will be staying on if there are any other questions. If not, you can feel free to click end and leave the call.